need to harvest us to continue their feeding frenzy. Is that right?
No, I think the harvest is because of the they're trying to do, like I said. Now, maybe that's what it is, but I think they're trying to breed themselves into looking like human beings.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the old werewolf movies? How the werewolf was always trying to find a way that he could stay human.
Yeah.
For the vampire. I
Yeah.
think they're trying to do the same thing. Think about it. Those are precursor films. And you notice that there's a lot of films out lately about vampires and werewolves now. More and more so. And what's this new movie called about this attack on New York?
Cloverfield, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's that about? They don't ever show the monster or nothing.
Mm.
But what do you think that's about? That's a shock and awe warm up. All these movies coming out are just disastrous movies.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really, if you think about it, if a person's glued to that type of entertainment, they're going to get desensitized to a point. They don't want everybody going into shock, but they want the majority of people to be shocked when they see this so that there won't be no resistance. They want you to believe in a rapture so that you'll walk all the way to the guillotine thinking you're getting evacuated.
Wow.
Just think, I believe in a rapture, and I know that God's going to come and get me before my persecution. I'm just going to let him take me wherever. What did Hannah do? She just got in the car because they were the police. Remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what they want you to think. They're the government. We know what's best. That's what they want you to think. And paying taxes. You don't have to pay taxes. You know that. You don't have to pay income tax. Corporations do. But the individual doesn't have to pay taxes. They can't enforce that. Telephone tax. There's another thing. I've never paid telephone tax. I don't pay it. But you know what? And they don't never rebut me on it. You know why? Because it's against the law to enforce telephone tax. But that's just extra money they collect because they have people what? Scared into the levy, scared into thinking they're going to get their wages garnished, all that stuff. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a movie I recommend for everybody: Freedom to Fascism. It's downloadable free on the web. Freedom to Fascism.
Mm-hmm.
Got some IRS agents on there that quit the agency because one lady, she took up a offer where somebody said they would give them $50,000 if they could find out where it says they had to pay taxes. And 2 years later, she still hasn't found it, and she quit. And she says on there, she's an IRS agent, X. She says, we strictly work on intimidation and fear, and 99% of the population will bow down to it.
Wow.
So that gives you a thermometer of where the world's at. In other words, Hitler, you know how he took France without firing a shot? They signed an agreement promising they can keep their lifestyle as long as they gave up their rights. And people are more interested in their lifestyle than their other rights. But you go into a third world country, people here don't see miracles because they don't need them, you see. We've got everything we want here, right? You go into a third world country and there's miracles happening every day over there. I'm talking about manifestations of miracles to biblical proportions because that's all they've got.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have anything else. You give them a hot dog and it's like one of us getting lobster.
Mm. Now, in the live chat section talk going on, it says the Cloverfield monster had gills and looked like a little reptilian.
There you have it.
Preparing the masses, eh?
Yeah. But look at the devastation it causes. What I'm telling y'all is it hasn't happened yet. And, you know, other than the prophets that we talked to that's seen it in the visions that I believe, Benjamin Baruch and David Eels, they're prophets, and there's others.
Mm-hmm. We have this question here. They want to know if the chemtrails that's been sprayed by the planes, is that in any way to make our atmosphere more palatable to the reptilians?
No. I'm glad you brought that up because I talked to a pilot who actually sprayed that stuff, and he told me there was poisons in there, and what really threw me to the floor was he told me that anthrax was one of the things that they put in there, and if anybody finds out about it, they were told to tell them that it was to get us immune to the anthrax. But it's to weaken you. Have you noticed that people are getting colds and sick a lot more lately? It's from the chemtrails. They're not doing anything that's going to turn you into monsters or make it better for the reptilians or whatever. They're doing it simply to weaken your immune system. So that I believe that the final blow, I just think it's just one of many things that they're doing to us, and I think that the final thing will come, in the end, will be a very weakening thing. I just do.
Mm-hmm. Somebody writes in that George Clooney and Bono recently went to the Pentagon for peace. They say that seems awful weird, and perhaps they had some sort of reptilian meeting there. What do you think about that?
I believe it. I mean, I just take the guy's word for it. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Mm-hmm. When I say I believe it, I mean, I'm not saying, okay.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It happened. Yeah. When I say I believe it, it's just totally not out of the realm of possibility at all. But you're just like that guy called me, am I on crack? You know, I'm sure the president gets plenty of that himself. Mm-hmm. And, you know, a person like me and you, don't you get mail like that?
Yeah. By the way, here's something. Jim in Wyoming says that him and his wife thanks you for coming on the program and bringing in information, and they are praying for you and your family.
Thank you.
So not everyone thinks you're on crack, but you know what?
No, that's cracked.
And the reason, I didn't have to read that question, but I just thought if I did read it, it would just really just show
I want other people to hear it too, because it made him see. He really sounded stupid, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, that's it, and it's just unnecessary. That's not a conversation. But you know what? On the other hand, it's sad because people, instead of listening to the sincerity of what you're saying, they're looking for reasons to bash you, or anybody who would say anything that they don't agree with or have never seen. Well, but perhaps we as citizens are trained that way to some extent. We're trained, as I said in the beginning, a couple hours ago, that, in the beginning of the UFO phenomena, anyone who's seen one was crazy running through the woods with an aluminum hat. Well, now there's so vast amount of people that have seen it, including Fife Symington, the previous governor of Nevada, that now it's, well, okay, they are here, but now what are they doing here? That's the next question. And we're rolling out those same adjectives. Are you on crack? You seen an alien? You on crack? Or, a mile long? How can something a mile long even fly? What's wrong with you?
Well, it's because he's implausible deniability. He's a classic example of somebody that's exactly where they want him to be. That's exactly what it is. He's just somebody where they want him to be. Mm-hmm. That's a thermometer right there. He's just that goes to show the rest of the listening audience I'm right.
All right,
I really am. Mm-hmm. You just prove it. Thank him for saying that. And I'll be praying for him, and I don't hold no grudge against him. I forgive him. I feel sorry for him. There you go.
And we have this question here come in. Do you think that the reptilians created AIDS to kill people?
Yes, I do.
Wow. So
they created the bird flu, and I think the bird flu is going to be the next pandemic. It's low-lying, but I'm hearing in the grapevine that it's killing a lot more people than you even know about, and it's in the hundreds of thousands right here in the United States.
Okay.
And it's getting worse. There's a new strain of it, N5N15, that's immune to everything they've shot it with, and it's fixing to be airborne. It's real close, they said, to be. In other words, if it mutates into another stage, it's going to be an airborne disease. Mm-hmm. We're in trouble with bird flu. That is a very prophetic statement. We are in trouble with the bird flu, and it's right under our nose, and you don't hear about it because it's the worst of the bunch. When you hear of a pandemic or something like that, and then all of a